Okay, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to work on some upper mobility, so working towards your back bends, bridges. So in terms of equipment, you're going to need a foam roller. Dex had just burped. Gross. A foam roller, and if you don't have one of those, you can do the same thing on back balls. And if you don't have these, you can actually grab 2 tennis balls and shove it in a sock, and you can have the same thing. The other thing you might need, if you have it, is a band. So like I have over here, just one of the thinner bands. But we're going to get started into our warm-up. So we're going to start with some arm swings. So make sure you've got space around you. We're going to do 50 in total. So it's going to be 50 to the front, 50 to the back. And then we're going to do some pulses at the side. So make sure you've got room that you're not going to hit your arms on anything. We're going to start by going to the back. So you're going to go nice and slow, externally rotated, so palms are going to face up to the ceiling. When you get to the top, try and reach up to the ceiling as well. Go around and back. And that is 1. This is 2. And 3. 4. 5. He's disappeared. 6. 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Going a little bit faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. We're going to go to the front now. So again, nice and slow, lifting up all the way and back. That is 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, you are going to take your hands across the chest. You're going to fling the arms back and forward. So trying to open your chest up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to hold it up to the side. Palms are going to face the ceilings, and we're doing little circles to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, going to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to hold it here, going little pulses to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to hold. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, palms facing the ceiling. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, shake it out. For the next 2 exercises, you're going to need a foam roller or back balls and the ground. If you want to have a mat for the second exercise, you can grab a mat, otherwise do it on the floor. But the first one you're going to do with the foam roller, you're going to lie on the floor. Hello. And then from there, you're going to place the foam roller around your upper back. so around there. Straight knees or bent knees, that is up to you. Just make sure your bum is tucked under. So tucked under. Good boy. Because we want to have our lower back fixed. Hands are going to go behind the ears. And then from there, you're going to try to arch back over the roller without letting your lower back arch. Holding it there. And then coming back to a hollow position. Okay? So we're going to do 10 of these. Obviously, you can move the roller wherever you feel like you need it the most. So, we're ready. Again, tailbone tucked, hands behind the ears. Try and squeeze your shoulder blades together and arching back. This is 1, holding, and coming back to a hollow position. And 2. And hollow. 3. Holding. And hollow. 4, arching back, try and squeeze your shoulder blades together so you're trying to get a little bit further each time. And hollow. And again. And hollow. Lost count, this is 6. We'll say it's 6. And back. You've got 4 more. Bring over, make sure your bum is squeezing, tailbone tucked. And back. 3 more to go. And arch. And back. Last 2. And back. 1 more. Going over, squeezing, bum tucked under, and back to hollow. Okay, so we are going to be working on a scorpion for the next one. So again, we're going to stay on the ground, but you're going to be on your stomach, like so. Hands are going to be out to the side. You want to bend one knee. You're going to squeeze that glute and lift that toe as high as you can up to the ceiling. So we're working on some rotation. You're going to take that foot up and over. Try to get it as close to your hand as possible or on the ground. And then lifting it all the way up and back. Okay? We're going to do 5 of those on each side. You're trying to keep your opposite shoulder on the ground though. That might not happen. So feel free to lift it off to get the foot where you need it to. And then when you're in your end position, I want you to try to press that shoulder down before you come back to your starting position. Okay? We're going to do 5. I'm going to use my right leg first. So again, squeeze your butt, lifting it all the way to the ceiling. This is 1. Keep reaching it up as you come over. Holding, and remember, try and press that shoulder down to the floor. And then all the way back, keep lifting it up to the ceiling. And 2. Coming over. And coming back. 3. Lift the foot. Coming over. And back. 4. Over. And coming back. You get 1 more on the side. 5. And coming back. Okay, other leg. So bending the left knee, lift it up to the ceiling, and again, taking it up and over. Try and touch the foot or touch the floor. Get that opposite shoulder to the ground, and then coming all the way back. And again, lifting up, take it over, and back. 3. And back. 4. And back, last one. 5. And back. Okay. That is set 1. We're gonna do one more set with the foam roller, and then we're gonna make it a little bit harder on the next 2 sets. So back to the foam roller, lying back, placing it on your thoracic. Again, you can move it if you need to. Tailbone tucked under, hands going behind the ears. Your knees are bent or they're straight, it is up to you. And then you're gonna arch back. This is 1. Should be able to get a little bit further this time. And hollow. And 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. 6. And back. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together, so trying to get the elbows back. 7. And 3 more to go. 8. And back 2 more. 9. And coming back, last one. 10. Holding at the bottom. Try and get a little bit further. And back to hollow. Okay. Going back to our scorpion. So again, lying on your stomach. Hands out to the side. Now, if you feel like this is getting pretty easy and you can consistently get your foot to your hand, you are now trying to get your foot to your elbow. So it's a little bit harder. It requires you to squeeze your heel to your bum as much as you can. So that is option B. Otherwise, just trying to get it as far as you can. So lifting up and coming over and back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. Last one. And coming back. Okay, other side again, try and get it to the elbow or to the hand. And 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back, keep it in extension until your hips are square to the ground. Then you can bring the knee to the floor. And again. And coming back. Last 2. Going over. Again, try and get that other shoulder to the ground as well. And coming back, you got 1 more. Lifting up. Coming over. And coming back. Okay. So the next back extension work we're going to do is going to be standing. But the same concept applies. So we're trying to not bend our lower back, trying to just use our thoracic as much as possible. So you can go feet hip width apart. You're going to tuck your bum under. Hands can go across your chest or on your hips, up to you. But I want you to try to lift your ribcage up to the ceiling as much as you can. And then folding back only as far as you can without hinging through your lower back. So you're not going to move very far, and that's okay. But I want you to be working through here and squeezing the shoulder blades together the whole time. So we're going to do 10. It's exactly the same movement as what you did on the foam roller. It's a little bit harder though because you're having to work your back yourself, okay? So just be mindful that this isn't moving. So we're going to do 10. Bum is tucked. Lifting the chest, so you're going to take a deep breath in. And then as you go back, you're going to breathe out. You're going to hold. Make sure your bum is squeezing, tailbone tucked. and then come back up to your starting position. So go little movements at a time. And 2. And back. And 3. And back. And if you want to have a little marker, you can actually do this against a wall. So as you go back, you're going to tap the wall and then come back. This gives you a little bit of feedback. And again, this is 3. And back. And 4. And back. 5. And back. 6. And back. 4 more to go. 7. And back. 8. And back. 9. And back. Last one. 10. Keep your bum tucked. And coming back. All right, we're going straight back into our scorpion. So again, on the ground, hands out to the side, bending the knee, lifting it up, and coming over. Tapping whatever you can, either the floor or your hand. Try and press the other shoulder to the ground, and then coming all the way back. And 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. One more time. 5. And coming back. All right, other side. Bending the knee. Use your bum, lift it up to the ceiling. And coming over. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 2 more to go. 4. And coming back. Last one. 5. And coming back. Okay. We've got one more set. So up to standing. Again, feet hip width apart. Tailbone tucked under. Hands across the chest if you need to, or by your sides, up to you. But you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try and lift your rib cage up to the ceiling. And then we're arching back, only using your thoracic. So this is 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. 6. And back. Nearly there. 7. And back. 3 more to go. 8. And back. 2 more. 9. And back. Last one. 10. Oh, hello. Going back. And coming back. Okay. Downward dog. We're going back onto our stomach. And we're going back into our scorpion. So hands out to the side. This is your last one. Lifting up, going over, morph Dexter. Touching, and then coming back. Dexter's standing on my hand to make sure my shoulder stays down. This is 2. Coming over, and back. 3. Over, and back. 4. And back. Last one. 5. Coming over. And coming back. All right, other side. And 1. And back. Good boy. 2. And coming back. 3. You're going to lift that leg as high as you can. And back. 4. And back. You got 1 more on the side. 5. And coming back. All right. We'll just do a counter stretch. So if you come to your knees, because we've just done a lot of back bending, we're going to do the opposite movement. So we're going to do a bit of forward flexion. So there's a few ways you can do it. I like to do it on my knees, and you're literally just folding forward. The other way you can do it is to have your legs out straight in front of you and come forward from there. If you feel like you're just getting in your hamstrings, you're welcome to grab a foam roller and pop it under your knees just to take out that, because I'm not worried about your legs right now. It's more about stretching out through here. So we're going to do 30 seconds, folding over your legs. It's a passive stretch, so take nice deep breaths when you're doing it and try to lengthen through your spine. So we're going to have a timer. Ready? Yeah. Okay. Counting 30 seconds. So you got 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, that should feel somewhat better. The next thing we're going to get into is going to be more about getting into our bridge. We're going to do some bridge progressions and regressions. So we're going to start off quite light, and then we're going to gradually progress into full bridges. You can stop wherever you want to though. So if the first progression is where you feel like you need to work at, then you stay there for all of the sets. Otherwise, you can progress with me. We are going to be doing some bridge rocks, which means we're going into a bridge and we're going to try to rock our chest open. So Monique, if you are watching, grab blocks. So the first one, we're not going to need anything for though, unless you want something to be under your knees, in which case grab a mat. But I'll show you what we're going to be doing. Knees are going to be hip width apart. You're going to try to follow the same steps as we did just then with our standing back bend, and try to not hinge from your lower back as best as you can. So that means our upper back needs to be active, our glutes need to be active as well. So we are going to alternate sides. So I'm going to start with my left hand. I'm going to try to place that left hand in between my feet. That is the ideal scenario. So placing it there. Now, right now I am pretty much, you can see, I'm just bending from my lower back, which is kind of what I don't want. So what I need to do is think about lifting my rib cage up to the ceiling, squeezing my shoulder blades together, making sure my glutes are turned on. With the spare hand, we're going to take it over as high as you can so you've got active shoulders. You are holding there. And then when you come back up, I want you to try to use your glutes, using your quads, using your abs to pull yourself back up rather than just pushing up like that, okay? And then the same thing on the other side. Now let's say you cannot get your hand to the ground in between your feet. Monique, should I just go straight into my bridge rocks on the blocks? Yeah. Do it against the wall, Mon. So 2 blocks against the wall, trying to get your chest there, okay? So say if you can't get your hand to the ground for this one, then you are just going to place your hand on the ankle. So it's a little bit higher, it's not as hard. Alternatively, you can have a block there. So you can place the hand on a block. So it's a little bit less of a bend. And then again, reaching over. Same rules apply though. We're trying to not use that hand on the ground to get ourselves back up. We have to get used to using all of this to pull back up, okay? So we are gonna do 5 alternating on each side. We're gonna start with this variation and then we're going to progress it in the next round. So starting with our left hand, placing it on the ground or on your foot or on a block. Imagine someone's pulling you by your hips, so you're pushing your hips over your knees, reaching the hands up. We are holding and then pulling back up to your starting position. So that was 1. We are going to do the other side. So we're alternating. Again, hand comes down, push the hips forward, take the hands over your head, try and lift your ribcage up to the ceiling, and then come back up. Other side, placing it down, hand over your head, and pull back up. Again, use that hand if you need to. There's 2 on the other side, hand down, and back up. Going into 3. So nice and slow controlled movements. We don't need to rush any of this. And back up. Other side. And back up. You have 2 more. This is 4. Try and take a breath while you're here. And back up. Left side, right side, sorry. And back up. You got 1 more on each side, then we're going to do a counter stretch. So this is 5. Hand comes down. And back up. Last one. And coming back up. All right, going back into a forward fold. So again, you can be on your knees going into a child's pose position. You can be in a pike like this. You can also do it standing. It's entirely up to you. We're going to do, again, 30 seconds just for a counter stretch. So picking whichever variation you like. Again, you can bend the knees if you need to. If you're just feeling in your hamstrings, and try and lengthen forward. If you do want to get more of a hamstring stretch, you can just flex your feet. Try and pull your toes to your nose.
That's 30.
Okay, we had a timer this time. Cool. All right, we're going to do 1 more set like that, and then we're going to progress it. So back on the knees. Again, tailbone tucked. Let's go back a bit. Tailbone tucked, hand comes down. Wherever you need it to go, you can also be on the fingertips, is okay. Reaching the hand up, try and lift the ribcage to the ceiling, and then pull back up. And 2. And up. 3. And up. 4. I'm counting so wrong. And up. Technically that was 2. We have 3 more on each side. And pulling up other side. And up. 2 more to go. Remember, try to push the hips over the knees. And pulling up. And last one on each side. And other leg. All right, we're going to go back into our counter stretch. So again, on the knees, in a pike, up to you. Just 30 seconds or so, going the other way. So you can round your back, you can flatten your back, whatever feels nice. You can also move around as well. Okay, so I will show you the next variation. Again, you don't need to do this one if you feel like the previous one was enough for you. But if you can get into a bridge, then this is what you're going to be doing. You have options for your bridge. If you're doing it on the ground, it's obviously a lot harder than if you are raising your feet. So what you can do, if you feel like you can kind of get into a bridge, but your arms are bent, or you're struggling to get your chest open, but you're comfortable there, you can get either a stool. Do I have a stool? A stool or a chair. You can prop your feet on, and you can do your bridge variation, but it's going to take out any flexibility through your lower back, so it's going to feel a lot nicer. You can focus it more on your upper back and your shoulders, which is what I want, okay? I'll show you what that looks like. So this is obviously going to be quite high. Oh, sorry, Dex. The only downfall to this one is it's quite hard to actually push up into a bridge. So we'll do it that high. So the feet come on. I scooch my butt as close as I can to the box. Hands come down. Everyone can see it, Dex. Thank you. Hands come down. Lift the hips up. And then you've got to push up from there. And you can hold your bridge, but it makes it a little bit easier for you to get your arms straight and your shoulders over your wrists. Okay? So that is option one. Obviously, the higher the surface is, the harder it's going to be to push up, but the easier it's going to be for you to hold your bridge. It's kind of finding the balance with how high you want to get it. Alternatively, if you feel comfy being in your bridge on the ground, then that is what you're going to do. So you can get into it the same way, like that. You can also go over. All right, for the exercise we're going to do, you're going to have straight arms. You're going to try to push your chest over the wrists and then come back. You can be on the tippy toes, take some pressure off the lower back, or you can be flat feet if you can. But again, we're just trying to get our chest open and then come back to our starting position. So we're going to be doing 10 of those. So again, your options are to stay with the first variation that we just did, so on our knees, taking one hand back, you're doing 5 on each side, which is 10 in total, or you are working on your bridge rocks, okay? Either elevated or on the ground. You don't have to elevate as high as I did, that's quite high. You can go half the distance if you just have a little step, it's also quite good, okay? All right, I'll give you a minute or so just to grab what you need and set it up, and then we'll come back, okay? Yes. Okay, hopefully that was enough time to grab boxes and things. Let's get into it. So again, feel free to go into this variation like we did before, or we can go into our bridge. So going over. All right, let's try and talk in a back bend. Okay. On the tippy toes if you need to. This will be my starting point, and then we're going to go over 1 and back, 2 and back, 3 and back, 4 and back, 5 and back, 6 and back, 7 and back, 8 and back, 9 and back, last one, 10 and back. Okay, I'm crumbling to the ground. We're going to go back into our counter stretch. So 30 seconds of noodle arms. All right, forward folding. Straight knees, if you can. Bent knees is okay. If anyone has any questions, by the way, feel free to ask. Especially if you are feeling a lot of pressure through your lower back, because we don't want that. There you go. 10 more seconds. And you can bend your knees if you need to. Okay. Back into it. Again, pick whichever variation you need to do for this one. We're going to do one more set. So it's the last one. Are you going to join us? Are you going to join? Okay. So again, going over. Ready. And 1. And back. 2. You should feel your upper back squeezing more than anything. And back. Make sure your glutes are turned on. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one, 10. And coming down. Okay. One more counter stretch. So again, coming into your pike. 30 seconds. Bent knees or straight knees. And then the next exercise we're going to need a band for. Only if you have something to attach it to. So if you've got like a table leg or even a pole somewhere in your house that you can wrap the band around, because we're going to work on some band assisted cobras. If you don't have a band, then you can actually do this with your hands assisting. You also will probably want a mat, more so for your hips, because you'll be pushing your hips into the ground. So the way I've set it up, just move the box out of the way. So over here we've got some stool bars. So I could attach the band to that. I will, however, bring it over there because you can probably see me better. So I'll attach it to this one here. So wrapping it around like that. And again, if you don't have a band and if you don't have somewhere to actually attach it to, then it's not necessary. You can actually do this without. And then with my mat, just folded it up because it's literally just to stop my hip bones from digging into the ground. So variation 1 of this exercise with the band, I'm going to hold onto it, shoulder width apart, and I want to be externally rotated. So I'm turning that way as opposed to that, okay? So grabbing hold, pulling it forward, and I'm going to lie down. So obviously, the more tension that is in the band, the more it's going to assist me. So the further you are away from where the band is attached to, the easier this is going to be, okay? Same rules apply with any of our back, this is so tight. With any of your back bending, I want to not hinge from one spot in my spine, okay? Because it's just going to put a lot of load through it, it's just going to get very sore very quickly. So using the band, we're trying to get as much of our thoracic to move as possible. So starting with our arms straight. So watching first, I'm just going to lift my hands up first. So I'm trying to get as much of my shoulders open as I can. I can go into a bit of a straddle with my legs, squeezing my upper back, and then coming all the way up as high as you can get to, holding at the top, and then slowly lowering back down. Again, if you cannot get that high, then it's fine. You are going as high as you can, okay? That is variation number 1, if you have the equipment. If you don't, we're going to be doing the same movement, but using our hands to assist. So hands won't be overhead this time. They're going to be by your shoulders, and you're going to try to look up to the ceiling first. So we're trying to get as much of our neck flexibility as possible. Then we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together. So we're going to our thoracic. The last thing that comes off the ground is my belly button until I hit the top of my range. Again, I'm trying to think about having a nice arch through the back rather than angles. We're holding at the top, I'm using very light assistance from my hands, and then I'm slowly coming back down to the starting position. So one more time, looking up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, bring all the way to the top, holding, shoulders down, and then coming back down to the bottom, okay? So we're going to be doing 10 repetitions of either of them. You can choose which one you would like to do. Both are good. Okay, I'll do it this way. So, this is just a little bit of conditioning at the end. All right, straight arms if you're doing this variation. Otherwise, hands by your shoulders. Try and externally rotate. Ready. Lifting up first. Make sure your glutes are squeezing. Going as high as you can go. Holding. And then slowly coming back down. Mon, don't use any band. Okay? I'm going to move the mat.
You've been told.
Actually, on me.
I said she's been told.
Who's been told?
No, you've been told.
Oh, what have I been told? What?
I'm just kind of repeating what you said, because you said, Mon, don't use a band.
Oh.
So I'm like, you've been told.
Mon has been told. Mon knows. Monique knows. All right. This is number 2. So I'm keeping my belly button on the floor until the very last minute. Reaching up and slowly down. Also try to avoid pushing down into the band. I'm trying to pull my thumbs back as much as I can. And again, coming up to the top and coming down. and 4. Lifting up. All the way to the top. And coming down. If you are feeling pressure in your lower back, then you are just going to keep your belly button on the floor. So you're just working this range. Otherwise, coming higher. And down. And again.
Thank you for the rate. Sakara. Oh, we got rated on Twitch. So they sent in a lot of viewers.
Oh, nice. We have lots of people now. Okay, and again. Lifting up. And down, we got one more. Reaching. My arms are burning. And coming down. Okay. Second exercise. While you're listening, feel free to, again, do your counter stretch, so any sort of forward fold. The next one is going to be conditioning for our glutes. So we need strong glutes to be able to control ourselves in and out of these positions. So it's a bit of a weird one. You're going to lie on your stomach. Again, have a mat under you if you need it. The hands are going to face down, or rather the palms should face down to the floor, and they're going to sit under your quads, okay? So as wide as you can. Your head can stay on the ground. Hopefully you can still hear me. And then you're going to try to lift your feet as high as you can off the floor. Pull the toes out as well, and then come back down. So it should be very crampy in here, okay? So we're going to do 10 of these. Try to not smush your face on the floor as best as you can. Ready? Wide straddle, externally rotated legs, so think toes out. And we're lifting. 1, you can push your hands into the ground and come back. And 2, and back. 3, and back. 4, and back. 5, and back. 6, and back. 4 more to go. 7, and back. 8, and down. 2 more. 9, and down. Last one. 10, and coming down. Okay. Very burny. We're gonna have a quick rest, 30 seconds or so. Again, forward fold, it's a lot of back bending today. Do your counter stretches. And then we're gonna get back into our banded cobras. So that is set 1. We're gonna try to do 2 more sets. Say try, we are going to do 2 more sets. All right, so again, banded version. If you feel like that didn't feel so good on the shoulders, it was a little bit pinchy. Like I said before, try to externally rotate your hands when you bring them up as opposed to internally rotate. Weak spot, Tanya. Need to work on your glutes. Okay. Going into set 2. So setting yourselves up. With any of them, if you are feeling a little bit of pain, pressure, anything nasty through your lower back, make the movement smaller. Work more on using as much of your shoulder range as possible and as much of your thoracic range as possible. So once these start moving a bit more, you'll need to use your lower back a bit less. which makes it very happy. Okay. All right. Starting set 2. And 1. Lifting up. And coming down. I did not put the mat under me. And 2. Lifting up. Think about reaching those thumbs back. And coming down. 3. And coming down. 4. And down, make sure your glutes are working. 5, so bum squeeze. And coming down. 4. And coming down. 5. And down, you're halfway. 6. And down. 7. So don't get sloppy with it. Make sure you are still using as much of your thoracic and shoulders as possible. Got 3 more to go. This is 8. And 9. And one more time. 10. And coming down. Okay. We're going straight into that glute exercise again. Going to fold this up even more. Okay. Again, lying on your stomach. Hands are going to go underneath your quads. You're allowed to push down with your hands to get a little bit further. Face sits on the ground. Wide straddle. Remember, we're trying to pull those feet out as far as we can and lift them up to the ceiling. Okay, ready. And 1. And down. 2. And down. 3. And down. 4. And down. 5. And down. 6. And down. 7. And down. 3 more to go. 8. And down. 9. And down. Keep pulling the legs wide. Last one. 10. Lifting. And down. Okay. Back into a bit of a forward fold. Again, counter stretch. We have one more set to go. And then you are finished. Sick lats. Thank you. I get many compliments on my lats. It's my one attribute. Okay. So last set. Again, grabbing the band, hands on the floor. If you're doing that variation, I have a mat that is basically rock and is doing nothing. But we shall move on. Okay, going into our very last set.
Just lean on Dexter. Just lean on Dexter.
Lean on Dexter. He'll be a nice cushion. I don't think he'd appreciate it though. He's very moody at the moment. Okay, so ready. Going up. It's because I had to drag him out of bed. And down. 2. Oh, Dexter. and down. 3, and down. 4, reaching those thumbs back, and down. 5, lifting, and down, halfway. 6, 7, lifting up. Oh, hello, hello, no. Moral support animal. 7, lifting up. And down. 8, nearly there. And down. 9, it's like, what are you doing? And down, one more time. 10, lifting up. And coming down. We like to get in the way of the camera.
It's just good how you like appear.
Hello. Okay, we're going into our very last exercise, which is on our stomachs. Are you ready? Are you gonna do it too? Okay. Lying down.
Perfect, Dexter.
Straddle. Probably can't see me, but you can see my legs at least. And we are lifting. 1. And down. 2. Good boy. And down. 3. And down. 4. And down. 5. And down. 6. And down. 4 more to go. 7. And down. 8. And down. 2 more. 9. And down. Last one. 10. And down. All right, let's go back into your counter pose one last time. So again, any sort of forward fold. Come to me, Dexter. And we are holding 30 seconds. Dexter's ready to go back to bed. Bend the knees again if you need to. Nearly there. Gary's head's in the camera. It's just an eyeball. All right, you guys are finished. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the workout. Feel free to send us some videos, pictures of you doing it. Would be great. Gary, do you have some words on the Patreon? Because I can't remember.
Yeah, so if you want to support the coaches with Patreon, you can find us there at the Bodyweight Gym. I keep forgetting to put a link. I do have it here. Hopefully the chat doesn't go glitchy here. The link is just in the chat. So if you can support the coaches, yeah, the chat went glitchy there. But yeah, thank you for joining, and yeah, thank you for the raid as well. I'll have to check out those recipes on your channel, because I'm pretty bad at cooking myself. Yeah, thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks, Dexter, for joining.
All right.
Dexter.
See you guys next time.
All right, see you next time.